The spiritual lineage of the Universal White Brotherhood was founded by Master bin Sadunov, also known as Peter Konstantinov Donov of Bulgaria, in 1897. Master bin Sadunov taught that the qualities of humility, obedience, honesty, goodness, intelligence, and nobility are foremost in spiritual practice. He explained that one should walk the path of love, wisdom, and truth. The Universal White Brotherhood believes that God is in everything, in the stones, the plants, the water, the air, the animals, and the light. Following the principle of ahimsa or non-violence, Master bin Sadunov practiced and preached a vegetarian diet. The Master was also an accomplished musician and composer of many spiritual songs and compositions. We will now continue with the final part of Master bin Sadunov's lecture entitled For the Glory of God. The lecture was given to some of his disciples in Bulgaria on the highest mountain peak in Bulgaria of the entire Balkan Peninsula, named Musala, which means near God or place for prayer. On that day, which happened to be the Master's birthday, the devoted truth seekers reached the high peak together with him and learned about the value of hardships, the power of faith, and methods that would allow them to feel God's help. For the Glory of God, Sunday lecture given by bin Sadunov, July 11, 1926, Musala Peak, Rila Mountain, Bulgaria. Now, we will not talk about your hardships. They are a blessing for you, and you will carry them. You should know this. We will not free you from the hardships. To release you from the hardships means to do the biggest evil to you. We give you knowledge and opportunities to use them for good. Your entire wealth is hidden in these hardships. Someone says, I wish God could take away that hardship from me. You should not say this. Instead, say, God, give me knowledge to overcome all hardships in my life. You have special hardships in your life that you cannot share with anyone. A doctor is needed. If you are a bankrupt trader and share your misfortune with another trader who is your adversary, nothing will remain from you. However, if you share it with a friend who loves you and can understand you, this friend will give you an advice through which you will overcome your difficult situation. It is said in the Bible, entrust your load only to the Lord. You can entrust your load only to the one who loves you and whom you love. If you connect to a person you love, he or she will take your load. But if this person does not love you and is not loved by you, he or she will not take your load. Now, the fog that surrounds us shows that this year the world would go through big hardships. The worldly people will be surrounded by very thick fog, which they have to overcome. It will be like this throughout the entire year. However, at the highest place, there will be a lot of warmth and many forces. There are forces in the fog. Whatever may come, do not be afraid. You shall be courageous and decisive as you bear a sacred idea. Even if they throw you 10 times in fire, you shall not worry, you will not burn. You will be like Daniel, who was put in the den with the lions. Did the lions eat him up? You will be like the 3 youths in the fire furnace. Did they burn up? You will be like Christ on the cross. Did he die? Did he stay in the grave? Many saints were buried in earth, but after that they were not found there. Neither earth holds them nor prison. An Englishman knew about the Universal Brotherhood of Light. He had expertise in the yoga, but was not liked by the government. That is why they closed him in and put guards in front of his cell. When they went in the morning to the prison, they saw that he was not there. They caught him for a second time, put 10 people to guard him, but he disappeared again. Finally, he wrote them a letter. You cannot keep me in confinement. Leave me and walk your way. I'm not against the laws, but I also have certain rights, for which you have to leave me to go my way. Do not think that you can imprison me. The power of this man lies in his faith. You can have the same experience, but faith is required. They may lock you as much as they want, but God will set you free. That is the beauty of the world. If any one of you had had this understanding, then despite being locked up with 10 guards, you would have gone out and would have felt free, being a master of your state. You have faith as well, but much more is needed for it to grow in strength. You have knowledge, but a lot more has to be acquired. You have virtues, but these virtues have to be developed further. Your wisdom, righteousness, and mercy, all these virtues within us must be and can be strengthened. You have all the opportunities to strengthen these virtues. Thus, I will not talk over a certain philosophy to those of you who are listening to me now, because no philosophy can be discussed at Musala. Instead, I will give you some practical points for application. Musala is solely a place for experiments. Now, I must leave you here at the peak for at least 1 hour to lie down. During this time, you will learn 3 times more than if I hold a lecture. When you go down, the first thing that you should do is to make the following experiment. Concentrate your mind up towards God and say, God, as we walk your way, as we want to serve you, let this small warmth come so that we can feel it. I'm ready to carry my suffering, but give me this warmth, let me feel it. Do not ask God for big things. You always want big things from God, and that is why you lose the small ones. You should ask for the small ones. When this small warmth comes, it will bring the new age into your life. This is the first experiment, the first condition. After you sense this small warmth, you will say, God, give me the small light to feel it. When you say so, a small light will flash in your mind. You will notice this whitish light in the center of your brain. This light will be as small as a pin. Thus, you will have 2 opportunities, warmth and light. Then you will already commence with life. Warmth reacts on life, light on chemistry and religion. You must become courageous and decisive. So when you wake up in the morning, there are 2 things you should ask God for. Now, you will apply 1, 2, 3 methods, and finally, when you find yourselves going through hard times, you will say, God, give me the small warmth and the small light. When you feel them, you will say, God, let it all be for your glory. When suffering and hardships come, you will say again, God, let it be again for your glory. You will say about everything that happens in your life, for the glory of God. This will be your profit from Musala. If they ask you what you were told at Musala, you shall say, may all be for the glory of God. This is the summary of everything I spoke to you at Musala. Let everything be for the glory of God. Currently, we are learning about the smallest warmth which can exist in us, as well as about the smallest light that can manifest itself within us, warmth and light. Now you must know for the entire year, everything happens for the glory of God. Next year, when we come here, I will tell you, show me your small warmth and light. Courageous viewers, we thank you for your kind presence for today's Words of Wisdom entitled For the Glory of God, Segment 2, from the Sacred Text of the Universal White Brotherhood, Part 2 of 2.